Another year, another brand new lens from Sony. This time it's a zoom lens. I promise this zoom have an unprecedented focal length that completely unheard of. The tele end is 70mm, pretty standard, huh? Which can only mean the wide end is where things get interesting. This start at 20mm. Ladies and gentlemen, meet the Sony FE 20 to 70mm f4G. The good old 24 to 70mm f4 is still enjoying a pretty good run. Its lightweight and versatility is still a welcoming feature for many photographers and videographers. But we all can surely agree that, while versatile, is boring. Sony is now making this formula a little less boring but even more versatile, adding 4mm to the wide end, making it a 20mm for the extra field of view. How good this new lens going to perform, you ask? Let's bring it for a spin. I took the lens out on a short trip with the A7 Mark IV to test its ability. The weather was bad, but that wasn't going to stop me from testing a lens. At 33 megapixel, the 20 to 70 handles every corner like a champ. Every focal length, every f-stop. The lens is sharp and crisp. It's amazing for a zoom lens. CA, chromatic aberration is excellent too, even wide open. The autofocus of this lens is your expected Sony G lens performance. Decent and accurate with 2XD linear model driving it. We found this old abandoned office building surrounded by a fence. The only way to get a full shot of the building leaning over the fence was with an ultra wide. The extra 4mm really shows itself here. And then there's a 70mm for some close-up. One thing worth noting is the focus breathing of this lens. It does show some breathing at its 20mm wide end, as you can see here. But the magic happens when we zoom in just a little, up to around 24mm. Everything from here on, breathing is gone. It is uncanny, yet outstandingly good for a zoom lens like this. And of course, everything else you would expect to come along with a G designation. It's right here on the 20 to 70. Iris lock toggle, and an aperture ring with a D-click selector, AF/NF toggle, 2 custom buttons, and of course a shiny G badge. The lens weighs in just under 500 grams and have a filter thread size of 72mm. If this lens sounds too good to be true, let's ground ourselves in the fact that it's still an f4 lens, so the bokeh is going to be physically limited. It's not going to be effortlessly given that bokeh shot whenever you point it simply at any subject. It requires some skill or compensation, like moving closer to the subject to squeeze out the bokeh. Because of that, my opinion is that fewer creators might find this lens suitable for their works. Even photographers who need to take group photo all the time, this lens is perfect for the situation. Pairing it with a fresh gun, f4 and the focal length from ultra wide to tele, it can take any group photo from 2 to even 100 people. Since this is a 20mm, it seems like it's suitable for vlog. Might as well give a test. Again, I'm not a vlogger, just to give you a feel of view of how 20mm look like. And about that 70mm, yep, I can easily point to any point of interest I want. So I guess 20 to 70 is a good focal length for travel and vlog. But that's not quite all this lens has up its sleeve. It has a remarkably short minimum focusing distance. With a maximum magnification of 0.39, it's more than a third of the way to a macro lens. That's extra point for versatility. And 20mm is also great for wide architecture shot. 70mm for some interior furniture detail shot. It's so much easier for storytelling, not to mention journalists or reporters will highly benefit from it too. Documentary videographer also benefit from this lens. 20mm is easy to get those establishing shot. Go tighter into 50 or 70mm and you will get your depth of field within the sweet spot where you remain context while framing out on your interviewer without blurring out too much of the background. Classic one lens do it all style. It looks like I'm leaving, but I'm not. I'm gonna leave you with some extra sample photo taken by the lens before I make my final conclusion. The new Sony 20-70mm f4G is truly one of a kind. This brand new focal length package extends the capability of a standard zoom lens. It is a no-brainer if you are that someone who thinks 24-70 is not quite versatile enough or a 16-35 is simply lacking in that reach. This lens is where two worlds meet. Again, it is a lens that brings convenience to specific type of creator. If so happen that you are not one of those creators, I'm sure there are still a lot of good lenses waiting for you. Maybe some I already reviewed in the past or some to come. That's all for this video. Like, subscribe and comment to let me know what you think about this new lens. I'm Jayz, see you in the next video. You don't get to see new focal length every day.